Thank you, Mr Holloway. It's a pleasure to serve under you, and I'm grateful to the Honourable Lady for giving us the opportunity to pay tribute to council staff across the country. The whole country has been knocked sideways by this pandemic, and frontline workers in all sectors and all industries have stepped up in the most tremendous way, but that really applies to councils and council workers. They've faced huge costs because of the crisis and faced huge reductions in their income because of the crisis. But the real effect is not financial. It's on the staff who deliver services for councils. And I want to acknowledge that. My council leader in Wiltshire, Philip Whitehead, I remember saying to me in despair one evening, because when we were having the daily press conferences at 5 o'clock, and he was just saying, can we please have the press conferences in the morning, because all these announcements are coming out, and his staff are having to work through right into the middle of the night to respond to all the differences in the different announcements that were being made. And just made me realise how hard our council staff work, not just those out in our communities, but in council offices as well. Mr Holloway, I want to quickly talk about, acknowledge the financial commitments that the government has made through this crisis to local authorities. Nearly £5 billion of unring-fenced money, specific grants for a whole range of special activities they have to perform, £6 billion in cash flow facilities to help councils, and also compensation for the loss of the fees that they've incurred. But I acknowledge that councils are still out of pocket, and we need to think about how that gap will be met in the months and years to come. I do acknowledge that. In Wiltshire, we have a very prudent council that has balanced the books over recent years, and it's received additional money from government. £15 million is due, still to be confirmed, but we trust that it will arrive. Also, they're able to increase their council tax through the social care precept, again to be confirmed, but we understand and hope that will be allowed. They still face a budget gap of nearly £30 million, which I recognise is going to be a long task to match and to meet. So I hope more money can be found. I want to quickly finish with two more strategic solutions I think that all of our councils have to grapple with, and opportunities that they can take. The first is in reform of social care, which makes up the bulk of spending by local authorities, 65% in the case of Wiltshire. Now, I'm not going to get into debate on how to reform social care, but clearly our model is not working. Clearly we need to fix the model of social care and the financing of it. And I support the call by the Health and Social Care Select Committee and the Local Government Committee in the last Parliament for a new model of social insurance to fund social care, which will enable us to get on top of costs. And finally, I just want to pay tribute to a Labour council, Wigan, which over the last 10 years faced all these challenges of austerity and coped with them by doing a deal with the community of Wigan, the people of Wigan. They kept frontline services open, they cut their own back office, they kept frontline services open by trusting communities and working properly in partnership. That is the model for all of us. Thank you, Mr Holloway.